If you're drawn to stories about passion, betrayal, and moments that change everything in a single breath, don't forget to subscribe and become part of this channel. Your support brings these stories to life. Now let me take you into mine. I should have stopped it the very first night. I should have told the truth, shut the door, walked away, anything except what I chose to do. Instead, I convinced myself it was a harmless mistake, something temporary I could hide beneath guilt and good intentions. But secrets don't fade when you ignore them. They take root. And mine grew stronger every time I chose silence. Adam wasn't just anyone. He was the kind of man people hoped to end up with. Steady. Thoughtful. Clever in a quiet way that made you feel special, like every joke was meant just for you. We were together for 5 years. When he proposed on a rooftop at sunset, I cried so hard I couldn't even answer him. He laughed and asked, "So, is that a yes?" It was. But over time something shifted. Not because Adam changed, but because I did. I became comfortable. Familiar. And comfort, when you stop appreciating it, can start to feel like emptiness. Then Nate arrived. Adam's cousin. The one everyone casually referred to as the American cousin, like that explained everything about him. He moved in temporarily just until he got settled. At first he was simply family. Nothing more. Until he wasn't. It began innocently, late-night conversations after Adam went to bed, laughter that lingered too long, glances that felt heavier than they should have. Then came a touch on my back that stayed just a second too long. And eventually one night, it crossed a line we couldn't uncross. Later, while Adam was out of town for a weekend, that mistake became something far worse. Nate said it was a regret. I said it could never happen again. And yet, every time we were alone, I let it continue. Each time I promised myself it was the last. Each time I went home to a man who trusted me without question. Secrets don't explode right away. They rot quietly. And when they finally collapse, they destroy everything around them. By December, Adam invited his entire family over for the holidays. His parents, his sisters, and Nate. I was on edge, but Nate acted distant, almost cold. For the first time, I thought maybe it was truly over. Then came Christmas Eve. The house looked perfect. Candlelight everywhere. Polished silverware. A table straight out of a magazine. I wore a deep green velvet dress Adam had picked weeks earlier, telling me it brought out my eyes. I was laughing at something his father said when Adam stood up and tapped his fork against his glass. My stomach dropped. At first, I thought he was going to announce a trip. Or maybe bring up kids again. But his expression was too calm. Too steady. He looked straight at me and said, "I know about you and Nate." The room froze. His mother gasped. One sister whispered, "No, that can't be true." Nate stared at his plate like it held the answers to escape. Adam turned to him first. "I trusted you. I trusted my own family." Then he looked back at me. His voice didn't rise. It didn't shake. "Pack your things tonight. I want you gone by tomorrow morning." His mother tried to speak, but he gently raised his hand. "Not tonight. I'm not fighting on Christmas. But I'm not living with lies." That was it. No yelling. No chaos. No one defended me. Especially not Nate. My hands shook so badly I knocked over a glass of red wine. It spread across the white tablecloth like a stain that couldn't be erased. That night I packed in silence. Adam didn't ask why. He didn't cry. He didn't argue. And somehow that silence hurt more than anger ever could. Before sunrise, I dragged my suitcase down the frozen steps and walked away from the life I destroyed. A week later, I learned how he found out. It wasn't the late nights or the tension in the air. It was my phone. Messages I didn't delete. Notifications I ignored. I got careless. Adam confronted Nate. Nate confessed immediately. What shattered me wasn't being exposed. It was realizing Adam decided I wasn't worth fighting for. I tried reaching out, texts, calls, even starting a letter I never finished because I couldn't stop crying. He never responded. Nate moved across the country soon after. I never heard from him again. Months passed. I lived alone in a tiny apartment where the quiet felt louder than any argument we ever had. One day I saw Adam at the grocery store. He looked lighter, freer. Like losing me had lifted a weight from his life. I walked past him like a stranger. People think cheating is a single bad decision. It isn't. It's a series of choices that spread slowly, poisoning everything they touch. It changes how someone sees you forever. I cheated. And he asked me to leave in front of his entire family. He didn't scream. He didn't seek revenge. He simply told the truth out loud. And somehow, that was the most painful punishment of all.